everybody. Greetings to all our snugglers from near and far. And if you're not a snuggler yet, well, maybe after today you might become one. Are you wondering what the snuggle is? Well, we started a knit along last Friday, and we did an introduction live video, which you can find on our events page, Snuggle KAL. And so a lot of us cast on last Friday, and some of us are this far into our KAL project, or maybe down here somewhere, maybe halfway, doesn't really matter. It's been a really fun project, very meditative, very relaxing. Yeah, but I want to hear from you. Do you think it's meditative? Do you think it's relaxing? Are you having trouble with the mosaic knitting? Are you finding it easy to memorize? Is your tension fairly stretchy? Not too tight? We are working with the yarns of Richard DeVries, namely Sirocco, which is Richard's DK Merino, hand dyed right here in Ontario. And we may just have a special guest today joining us. Let's see. Oh, I see Lori. Hi, Lori. Okay, so we do have Richard on here. He is the dyer of the beautiful colorways that you see in front of me. And the pattern you can find on Ravelry. It is called The Snuggle is Real. And it is designed by Max the Knitter, who is a Quebec designer. And it does require 3 colors. In the original pattern, Max worked with 2 colors, the main color and contrast 1, for the outside of the cowl, like I've done. And then he knit a lining with a strand of a fine mohair with silk. Some of us have chosen just to work all in the merino, because you never know if you're going to feel a little bit of that prickly sensation from the mohair blend. So that is why we've done our color combos in the groups of 3. So main color, contrast 1, contrast 2 is your pop color. You really don't see it in the lining, but you know it's there, you know it's a fun color. That's my pop color. And it is also used for the drawstring, which is threaded through the top of the cowl for a nice cozy finish. So last week we did our introduction, and then during the week we were working on the Provisional Cast on. So I've used a very pale pink, which is scrap yarn, and that's going to be completely cut and removed at the very end. So disregard that, that's not part of the project, the finished project. And then we were doing our knit 2 purl 2 ribbing in the main color. And then we were transitioning into this really fun mosaic knitting. Mosaic knitting is all about slipping a stitch, knitting a stitch, to give it that faux look of Fair Isle. It's much easier than doing Fair Isle because you're not carrying the yarn across the back and you're not getting into all the tangly snarls. So with the main color and contrast 1, we did the mosaic knitting. And my colorway, which I really don't have much left of, contrast 1, was a variegated blue, purple, gray. And it did some really fun things. Can you see all those zigzags? It was quite mesmerizing. I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see a better view of it. But look how it came out. I had no idea what I was going to get. It started zigzagging, and then it sort of drifted off and a new color would come in. Just so fun to work with these hand-dyed yarns. Okay. So if Richard is on here, oh wow, hi Richard, I can see you now. Hi Gwyneth. Hi Andrea, hi Cindy, hi Shelley, hi Lori again. Now that we've got Richard on here, he's got his cup of coffee, he's all comfortable in his easy chair, or maybe sitting in his dining room. I thought it would be fun to start off with a little pop quiz for him. So I've come up with 5 questions, not to bore anybody. Keep it short and sweet. So I'll ask these 5 questions to Richard, and he will respond to each question with the number of the question, starting with number 1. He'll put it in the comments for us to read. Oh, you're in the office today. Okay, I hope it's nice and cool there. Richard, okay. Question 1. Which 3 colorways would you choose from your collection if you were knitting the Snuggle Cowl yourself? So we'll give Richard a moment or 2 to answer. We always have so much fun with Richard when he comes for a trunk show. He has the best stories to tell, and he memorizes every single one of his colorways. I can't even remember the 3 colors I chose. I have the labels, so I will try to remember next time to mention my 3 colorways. Is everybody doing well with the mosaic knitting? Yes, Lori, it is magical. I agree. We've had quite a few pictures posted on our Snuggle Cowl events page, so feel free to browse through them for inspiration of colors. If you've taken a picture of your cowl project and want to post it on there, go right ahead. If you're still having trouble deciding on colorways, that's a good place to post the 3 skeins, and then you can get some feedback from other knitters. They'll tell you which one they think should be your pop color, which one should be your main color, and which one should be your contrast one. Okay, so Richard says prom night with envy and a bright turquoise. Oh yeah, I'm all over the bright turquoise. I agree totally. Azure blue. Oh, I love azure blue. I don't have a skein of it here. Question 2. Which is more difficult for you to dye? A stippled colorway, a tonal, or a variegated? Not being a dyer, I have no idea. So for example, a stippled colorway in Richard's line is something like this. Pretty little speckles on a solid background. Some of his stipples have a lot more different color shades. This one is called Frazzle Ice. And then an example of a tonal would probably be this beautiful gold. All that glitters. So tonal is shades of the same color, light, medium, and dark. And then variegated, well, there's one right there. Okay, so we've got all 3 of them. Stippled is Blowing in the Wind. This is variegated, Black Ice Sobble. And this is the tonal. Stipple, okay. See, I wouldn't have thought stipple was the hard one. I thought variegated would have been the hard one. That's really good to know. Just gives us a little bit more of the backstory of what you're doing all day when you're in the dye studio. So that was question 2. To see Richard's answers, please follow in the comments. Question number 3. As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say you haven't really grown up yet. So we'll pretend. I bet you it was something in the field of art. So while Richard is answering that, I'm going to start with showing you some of the newer colorways, the combo packs that we put together this week, in case you're thinking of starting a second Snuggle cowl or your first one. So this is combo 23. We've got In the Navy, which would be great as your main color, and Frazzle Ice, which would be great as your contrast 1. And the third color is Black Ice Turquoise. That would be great as your pop color for the lining and the drawstring. So that is combo 23. A funeral director. Oh boy, I don't think I would have ever guessed that. That was the answer to pop quiz question number 3. Okay, let's go on to question number 4. Can you tell us what your view is outside your window right now? So combo 23. This is combo 24. So again, I would probably choose the one in the middle, the solid, as the main color. That is called Overtones. And then we've got If Not For You, slightly stippled, and Variegated Blithely. So there you could go with either this one in the mosaic knitting or that one in the mosaic knitting, and then the opposite for your lining. Nice kind of blue undertones. And combo number 25 is a nice tonal pack. Very soft. So we've got Charcoal Gray, Prairie Smoke, which is a blush pink, and Polished Ivory, which has a little hint of Soft Dove Gray. Creamy undertones with Soft Dove Gray. Combo number 26 is nice autumn tones. So for the stipple we have Blowing in the Wind. For the tonal we have All That Glitters, and for the variegated we have Black Ice Sobble. Blue Spruce, White Birch, and Hostas. Oh yes, I love hostas. Okay, now we're on to our last question for the pop quiz. Can you tell us, Richard, what's on your needles at the moment? So now we're on to combo 27. Stippled, we have Marjoline. In the center, we have a solid named Grace. It's a very pale celery green with a cream undertone, and Gray Gables. That has shades of smoky green, medium gray, and a little stipple of a charcoal. Number 27. And number 28, for the stipple on the turquoise end, we have Frazzle Ice, Pearl in the middle, which goes with everything, and Bubblegum Ice Cream. Pink with little pops of royal blue, yellow, a deep cherry red. And for combo number 29, we have Gray Gables again for the variegated overtones, which goes with a lot of our combos because it does have a blue undertone. And for the stippled, we have Marjoline. And then combo number 30, really summery colors. Why not wear summery colors in the winter? It will remind you of all your favorite warm weather memories. Bubblegum Ice Cream in that turquoise blend. The stipple is Frazzle Ice, cream base with pops of aqua, charcoal, and blue. And then the outside color is Nothing to Fear, and that is a really warm 2 or 3 shaded pink with medium green, a little bit of gray purple. It's really hard to describe these colors. I mean, the more you look at them, the more you see more colors. And then the last combo pack for this week is number 31. So we've got overtones again as our main color base, and then you could choose cherry blossoms as your contrast one or your pop color. And then this one is waiting to be found. So a nice warm rosy glow, and cherry blossoms has little hints of mint green, chocolate brown, and pops of pink. I will take a picture, a bird's eye picture after the video, so you can see all the combos laid out. I know it's hard to see and compare them to each other. Oh, you're still working on the hat, the striped hat. Yeah, it was really cool colors, nice and bright. Okay, so that is our pop quiz with Richard. That gives you a little bit more idea of what he's all about. He's just a really fun guy and the most talented yarn dyer you'll ever come across, with the most interesting stories and a full family of French bulldogs. Now we're going to play a little game with Richard as we go through the rest of the video. And I just thought it'd be fun if we can interact a bit more with him today. So if you are working on the Snuggle Cowl and you know your colorways, please comment with one of your colorways, but scramble the word. So don't type it in exactly as it is spelled. We want Richard to have to work for it. So it's called Stump the Dyer. So if you have a colorway such as bubblegum ice cream, just be sure to separate it into the 3 distinct words. We don't want to make it that difficult, because then it's not so much fun. And if you have a colorway like Grace, that's an easy one. You could just scramble up the words and put it in your comment. We'll see how many Richard can guess right today. Hi Evelyn, hi Andrea. Yes, Andrea, I did knit the body of the cowl to the full 13 inches. So that brings me to the next point today. We're going to talk a bit about the length. So this is what the pattern calls for. You have to remember that the cuff at the bottom is folded under and grafted at the very end. So you're only going to see about 1.25 inches of ribbing. The majority of the cowl in the mosaic knitting is 13 inches before the next cuff starts. So if you're not the type of cowl wearer in the winter who would pull it up over your nose, then don't knit all 13 inches. You're going to find you're going to have too much excess, all scrunched up. If you have a shorter neck, or if it's a gift for somebody who maybe has a shorter neck, don't knit the 13 inches. Maybe knit 11 or 10. You do have plenty of yarn, as you can see, to knit the full 13 inches, so that's not an issue, but it's personal preference. I do have a long neck, and I'm the sort of person who likes to wear my cowl, and I will pull the drawstring up over my nose when it's the icy -32 winds and I'm on my way to work. So take all that into consideration as you're finishing your mosaic work. Whatever measurement you decide to finish at, please note that in the pattern they tell you to end with a specific round, and that is round 1. So you have to finish round 1 once more, and then you can break off your contrast color and continue into the ribbing with your main color. Does that make sense? So if it takes 8 rounds to do 1 pattern repeat, you could shorten it by probably 1.5 inches for each 8 rounds that you deduct. Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to mention about the length. And has anyone commented any scrambled colorways yet? We have to stump this dyer. He loves scrambled word games. So last week I posted or uploaded the first tech video, which was just demonstrating a bird's eye view of the mosaic knitting to help you out if you're a newbie at it and you wanted a little bit more visual demonstration. So today, later after this video, I will post another tech tip video. It'll be Tech Tips 2 video if you're looking for them to be numbered, and it will be showing a little trick for making a neater buttonhole. I think I told a lot of you to stop after the mosaic knitting and after round 3 of your ribbing for the top fold over edge, and that is your buttonhole row starting on round 4. So I've worked right across to my first buttonhole opening, and there's nothing wrong with doing the buttonhole as it is explained in this particular pattern. His directions are very good. I just thought it'd be fun to learn a different way to do a buttonhole, and maybe something that you'll find is a little bit more professional and neater than a regular buttonhole. So again, choice is up to you. Wait for the video to upload after this one and try. It's very easy. You'll be working your buttonhole on one round, so there's no going back and forth. Or if you prefer, you can just cast off the 2 stitches, work to the end of the round, and then the next round you cast on 2 stitches over the little opening you've made. The reason that we do have the buttonhole openings, even though there are no buttons, is to thread the drawstring through and to be able to tie it in the front. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to try a different buttonhole, see if you like it better than your conventional style, and it might be something you can use on future projects. Then there will be a third tech video later this evening, and that will walk you through step by step how to fold the top of your cowl over. When you finish the ribbing, it'll be as long as your bottom ribbing, and then you've got to fold it under and knit it together with the top of your mosaic knitting. That will save you having to sew and make a casing. So we're not really changing anything about that particular method, but it would be nice, I think, if you see a video, bird's eye view, and then you know exactly where to pick up the stitch that should be joining the one on your needle, and to knit those 2 together as you go around. After that, it'll be just nice, easy breezy knitting going through the lining. Again, if you're shortening the cowl on the outside, you have to remember to shorten the cowl for the lining too, or it just won't fit. It'll be completely out of whack. And then our last tech tip video will be video number 4, which will be next week, and we'll talk about grafting. So that's what your provisional cast on is for, so that we can graft the final round of our lining together with the first row of the ribbing. So I'm sure it'll be kind of nice just to see how that is done as a refresher, and for those who have never grafted from a circular needle to a provisional edge, it'll be a first for you. Oh, okay, we're getting some scrambled colorways. This is fun. Richard's probably sitting down with a notepad and trying to work them out. Does anybody have any questions about the cowl pattern? I've already heard comments from some of you that you're thinking of doing a second one. You're not even finished the first one, you're thinking about doing a second one. That is great. It gives you a chance to try some of the colorways that you were maybe almost going to choose, but you weren't too sure about. And now you can think about those for maybe a gift for Christmas or another cowl for yourself. Remember too that you can certainly make it a cowl for a gentleman just by choosing kind of the earthy colors. Charcoal is always a good main color. If we took out the rose shade, which is called Prairie Smoke, and we put in something like the All That Glitters, that could be quite manly. So these combos that you see on the table are not set in stone, they're just inspiration for you, because sometimes choosing colors for a project when you see such a vast selection can be overwhelming. So if you see a color that you like in one combo, we can switch it out. I think also in the navy is a good main color if you're doing unisex combos. That would go well with Gray Gables. And then you can always just have a neutral pearl, the creamy tone. Because this, I think this one here had a cream tone in it. And the picture that I posted on our KAL page is not the same Snuggle Cowl as this one. It's a different colorway. And it was just a very soft grayish green with a cream color. I can't remember what her pop color was, but you don't have to go wild with your colors. You can just be very sensible and conservative. Oh, I think Richard's already guessed them. Oh yes, Gwyneth. That's an easy one, Oz Opal. And I think Richard told me once a few years ago that that is his best-selling color because it has pops of every shade in it. If you check out our events page, Snuggle Cowl, you'll see that Gwyneth posted a picture of her cowl partway into the mosaic knitting, and she's used Oz Opal. So Oz Opal, unfortunately I don't have any skeins in the store, but it is, I think, at least 9 to 11 stippled colorways in it. It looks a bit like confetti. And Richard has guessed Shelley's. He's got Deep Waters. Oh wow, he got yours too, Hetty, Overtones. Hi Shelley, sorry you missed the beginning. I'll just go over it quickly again. So we started a knit along last Friday. That was our introduction video, which you can find on our video section on Facebook, or we've created an event on our events page called Snuggle KAL, K-A-L. This is the pattern that we are knitting. The pattern is available in Ravelry. It's called The Snuggle Is Real, designed by Max the Knitter, a Canadian designer. And we are using 3 colorways in Richard DeVries Sirocco, which is his DK weight, hand-dyed merino, made here in Ontario. And we've put together some combos. You can see this week's combos on the table. And I will post a picture later on so you can see a bird's eye view of them. I've been working on my cowl, and I'm using 2 shades of blue, and then I'm going to put this gorgeous color, which I don't remember the name of, as my lining. So you don't really see the lining unless you turn the cowl inside out. Remember, it is reversible. And it will also be featured as the drawstring, which shows at the front. So a little pop of color on the outside and a real wow on the inside. So those are my 2 blues worked together. This is a very simple beginner style mosaic knitting project. And there's no carrying of the colors. It looks like, when you see the inside, it almost looks like we've carried the yarn across, but we haven't. It's all an optical illusion. And just as pretty on the inside as it is on the outside. So we are working on a 4mm circular needle. We did a provisional cast on, which is waste yarn in a contrast color. We chose something that was slippy and cottony or a bamboo fiber, just so it'd be easy to release it at the very end, and it's acting as a stitch holder until we finish the cowl, and then we'll cut it out very carefully once we get our first row of the main color onto a needle again, and then we're going to graft the lining together with the cuff. That cuff will fold under and give a nice double edge. And then we're now working on the cuff at the top of the neck, which will also fold under. We're just waiting for the buttonhole video tutorial to walk everybody through it, and then we have a little bit more ribbing, and then we're going to be into the easy lining knitting, which is great for watching the kids if they're out playing or watching Netflix, or if you're sitting by the lake, one of those lucky knitters, watching the jet skis and the boats go by and the swimmers. So I will be finishing my ribbing this weekend and starting on the lining. Thanks, Hetty. Are you going to knit a second one, Sharon? Yes, we ship anywhere, Shelley. If you're in Ottawa, that's fine. We have a flat fee of $15 shipping, and you can just call the store or email or send me a message and let me know what colors you'd like. For anyone who misses the beginning of the live video, I don't know if you're aware, but live videos can be watched anytime, day or night. Once the live video ends, it goes straight into the video archives, and that is easy to access on our main page, Muskoka Yarn Connection. Click on videos and look for Snuggle KAL. This one is called Week 1. Or I will post the link into our Snuggle KAL event page. And that is also where you can see a lot of these color combos knit up in projects for inspiration. And some of our cowl knitters maybe have posted their color combo names. Today we're doing a fun game with Richard. It's called Stump the Dyer. Richard is the dyer, Richard DeVries. He's here in Ontario, a couple hours away from Muskoka. And some of our knitters are just posting one of their colorway names that they're using in the project, but they're scrambling it. So he has to guess the word. We'll see how good he is at remembering all 600 or 700 color names that he has in his recipe file. Yeah, there's some good ones there. And at the beginning of the video, we did a little pop quiz with Richard, 5 questions, and just to get to know a little bit more about him. And if you haven't met him before, as soon as things are back to the new normal, we'll be setting up a trunk show, and he will be here in Muskoka again with all his beautiful colors. Maybe we can do it outside if the weather is good. Who knows? We'll just figure it out. Oh, Richard stumped on Cindy's. Yes, Sharon, I heard you had some little people around. Be careful they don't pull the stitches off your needles. I don't know about you, but I would love to see a combo knit with bubblegum ice cream. I mean, that just screams summer. Water, sweet treats, and this color looks pretty much like watermelon. Maybe what I'll do, while Richard's still guessing some names, I'll bring the combos up closer to the camera so you can see them. So for this week we are starting with combo 23. And if you're planning to order one of the combos I showed today, then try to remember the number. It's kind of hard to describe the colors. $24. This is a nice quiet one. $25. Autumn tones, very natural, earthy. 26. $27. This one at the top is Gray Gables. It has a lot of interest in it. And in the middle we have Grace, which has sort of a changing light to it. Sometimes it looks a bit green and sometimes it looks a bit creamy. That's the magic of hand-dyed yarn. It's just putting together colors very unexpectedly, and it gives you a really unique artistic design when you're finished. One of a kind. This is number 28. So this is the most neutral base in the middle. That one's called Pearl. And that goes with everything. That pink at the top is the bubblegum ice cream color 4. There's two versions of bubblegum ice cream that we have. One is more pink and one is more turquoise. And this is 29. Who knew this cowl would be so popular, especially heading into the summer? But what I really like about it is that it's small, it's portable, and it's on a short circular, so I don't have to constantly push my stitches along. And it's interesting. This is number 30 combo. Now I think the one at the top is, yes, this is bubblegum ice cream again, but number 13. And then our last combo on display is number 31. And it has cherry blossoms, overtones, and waiting to be found. Very pretty. A lot of you have picked gray combos and shades of pink. I think I was the only one who went with the really strong shades of blue, but that is okay. Okay, everybody, I think that will be it for today. Thank you so much, Richard, for joining us, taking time out from your busy day, your dye schedule. This is almost as good as having you here in person for a fun trunk show. So watch for the uploaded video, and that will be featuring our new buttonhole method, if you choose that as a backup plan. And also later on, because it does take a while to upload videos when they're not live, later on tonight, when the internet speed is good, I will upload the tech tip video number 3, which will show you how to join the top ribbing to the inside of your cowl. So you have a permanent edge and a casing for your drawstring to go through. So there's lots happening at the top of the cowl, and then you're going to have nice, easy knitting on the inside. Hope you have a great day, everybody, and if you have any questions or interested in any of the combos, please call me. I'm here for a while, 705-645-5819, or email MissGokiYarnConnection@gmail.com, or send me a message. I'll go through the comments and answer any questions that I've missed. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Friday. Happy Snuggle, Cal.